Will you agree with me that the Truth and Reconciliation makes a recommendation? Charge these people and take them to book, and these people get not to be charged. The NPA does nothing about it, and it is life as normal.
Those that were charged for killing our people, the one that killed Krizani,
is free.
He's free.
Let's talk about the one at Flag Plus. He's still getting.
He's not only, the more you talk about the ANC, is the more you see what type of rubbish party it is. De Kock,
yes,
comes out.
Eugene De Kock,
he comes out. Maybe let's paint a picture so that our people understand why we are frustrated with this thing. De Kock used to have a braai next to a burning corpse of a black man.
Yes.
They used to have a braai.
He was finding solace.
While they were burning a black person, they were having a braai next to that black person.
True.
Who's burning. So when you walk around, you think they are in a party. Yes, they are in a party.
They are celebrating.
Yes, they are celebrating. Why were they celebrating? Because it started with slavery. They would give you a card box because you didn't know how to read. They would send you to a number of farms. The card box would say, "Come tonight at 8. We are going to kill him. We are going to lynch him." That's what they did with us. And then you invite all these people to come to your lynching. And then you become lynched. Now, today, they are no more lynching our people. No, they're deliberately killing them and throwing them to the pigs.
Including those that owns crocodile farms, including those that owns lion farms. This is what they do with our people.
What happened to Matebula? He was thrown in a lion den alive. And we come here, we talk. It's a talk show. We go home. We get salaries for being 410 in parliament and doing absolutely nothing.
And this is the moment that we meet and we have radical conversation. Thank you so much to Papa Blogu. Great afternoon, Dadesle.
Good afternoon, Dr. Malungane.
How are you?
Oh, God is good all the time.
Yes, all the time God is good. I got to bua ka the last engagement that we have had. But what I know
yes.
There are people that are commenting, and there's someone that feeling what views you raise, these things, and I was like, this means we are doing a good job.
We are.
I'm happy that we do. And as today, as we promised in the last engagement, we had said that we will speak about the killings by the white farmers, black people.
Correct.
Maybe at a go, Nje, begin to ask, do you think white people fear us? And if they do not, why?
I don't think they do. We don't give them a reason to. Maybe it's a historical thing that we need to mention, and people might differ or not differ, but it's a historical thing. You'd remember our political parties had armed wings.
Yes.
Those armed wings, from where we are sitting when we look at history, they never had the potential to frustrate the very strong army of white people. So they were clear that we will never afford a coup. We can never take them out.
So you want to say Umkhonto, Apla,
taken together, they wouldn't even shake these people. They wouldn't.
The defense force.
The defense force. They wouldn't.
At that time.
At that time, before the ANC came and destroyed Denel, when Denel was still manufacturing the Royfark, we are where we are because of the ANC that destroyed Denel. We can't manufacture bullets now in this country.
That is like we can't even manufacture a toothpick.
Yeah,
we're buying a toothpick somewhere else.
It's a problem, and because of that, when we took over government, we became so reconciliatory with them that we gave them the confidence that they can come back, even if we have numbers for their democracy, and we cannot come back. But they can come back, and they've shown us.
Will I be right to say they are coming back?
Actually, they are back. They are not coming. They have already arrived. The attitude of white people towards black people, if you were to look at Nelson Mandela's time,
yeah,
they were just reconciling, trying to do that. And then fast forward, you had Thabo Mbeki's time. Their arrogance started. And then
what caused that?
The inability to occupy the space that was unoccupied by our politicians. That space being the land and the land and the economy. Our failure to occupy those two spaces created them to have some confidence.
You said in the last engagement that white people have got this tendency of studying behavior of a person, the psyche of a person, and in the process knows that this is how we must be able to infiltrate him. This is how we must be able to do that. Now, in the process, during Thabo Mbeki's era, we had more than 66% to be able to change the constitution and do whatever that we would have wanted.
And he woke up and said to them, I give you an assurance, we will not change the constitution.
Why?
Sell out. Full stop.
I
don't know. And when we say these things, people who are the fans of Thabo Mbeki, they think they have this reserve, thinking that operating our brains is reserved for them only. They are think tanks. They are nothing. They failed to think when South Africa was in their hands. They had 2/3 majority. They couldn't think. They couldn't shake. They couldn't shift. And they started now using words about transformation. When we started this struggle, our word, the buzzword was revolution. And then they started transformation. Because when you revolt, you cause a revolution. You are changing things upside down. But when you transform, you face things in until you do nothing. Because as you face others in, others emerge. So your facing in will continue unabated for a number of years.
So are these the reasons why the white people are so comfortable in what they are doing?
In the main, Dr. Malungane, white people are comfortable because black people don't have an economy. And I will tell you why. For you to access a proper advocate, Moses Kakane, Antlanta, Mpofu, unless they take you pro bono,
It's
their
expensive.
appearance at court for one hour is 35,000. So you can't afford them. You can't. And how do they fight? How do they fight? Anything that this government want to implement, they take it to court. I'll give you a simple example of recent weeks. Parliament debates the issue of Hlophe and agree that Hlophe must go to the JSC. What did whites do? In their arrogance,
They took him to court.
but that's not all. Do you know what is the contents of their description of Hlophe? If you read the heads of argument of AfriForum and not even AfriForum, Freedom Under Law, they describe him as a failed judge, a despicable. When they use the words, you want to stand up and say, but what is this? They even say the argument of the lawyers of Hlophe is unethical. How do you do that? And then I was looking at Masuku. He was saying they cannot define us like this. They cannot. He's complaining like a small boy. Stop complaining like a small boy.
Take them head on.
Take them head on. Tell them where to get off. To say you are not gonna talk to us like this on the heads of argument.
Now let's here are white people, which is the topic today. Here are white people who chooses to kill black people and take them and throw them into the pigs, and they know that we've got a defense that will be able to get away with this thing. That's the tendency and the arrogance that is there. But also maybe it is because the judiciary is not sending a message, a very strong message to say these things are unacceptable and cannot be allowed.
When you use a K word, which is actually the what do you put it? The K word is actually a recipe towards killing black people. What do we get? How are people sentenced? They get a slap in the hand. You'll pay 100,000. You must give the 100,000 to whoever that somebody chooses. We cannot behave like that. That time is over of this type of behavior. But our judges are afraid. Shame, they are afraid. Here
what is making them afraid? Maybe before we could even go there, that is these people are killed. We have seen. Let's take it there. AfriForum goes overseas and make a presentation that there's a genocide against white people.
Sure.
And two, DA does not say anything with regard to this. The worst thing, the ANC itself, as a ruling party in the GNU, if one may call it, is not even saying anything. So as a result, it becomes normal. They have normalized these things. When a black person dies, let it be normal. It is normal. The life does not matter, and all these things are not important.
We present crime statistics. And when we talk murder, it's 99.9% black. That's why we normalize this thing. It becomes normal for us. Black people can be killed. But fast forward, let's come to this issue of why the arrogance of white people. They will even arrive. I still want to know. In Senegal, a group of white boys were seen on top of a police buggy. South Africa must ask what happened to the case. Where is the case? Have they been charged? Have they been convicted? Because they know South Africa will make noise today, and tomorrow South Africa will be business as usual. We will have forgotten. And we must fast forward. We must come. There was a black man that was killed in Limpopo, and we were told he was mistaken for a monkey. Where is the case? There were people that were locked inside a coffin. Where's the case? South Africa must ask the courts, including the Minister of Police, where are the cases?
Will you agree with me that the Truth and Reconciliation makes a recommendation? Charge these people and take them to book, and these people get not to be charged. The NPA does nothing about it, and it is life as normal.
Those that were charged for killing our people, the one that killed Chris
is free.
He's free.
Let's talk about the one at Flag Plus.
He's not only, the more you talk about the ANC, is the more you see what type of rubbish party it is. De Kock comes out.
Eugene De Kock,
he comes out. Maybe let's paint a picture so that our people understand why we are frustrated with this thing. De Kock used to have a braai next to a burning corpse of a black man.
Yes.
They used to have a braai.
He was finding solace.
While they were burning a black person, they were having a braai next to that black person.
True.
Who's burning. So when you walk around, you think they are in a party. Yes, they are in a party.
They are celebrating.
Yes, they are celebrating. Why were they celebrating? Because it started with slavery. They would give you a card box because you didn't know how to read. They would send you to a number of farms. The card box would say, "Come tonight at 8. We are going to kill him. We are going to lynch him." That's what they did with us. And then you invite all these people to come to your lynching. And then you become lynched. Now, today, they are no more lynching our people. No, they're deliberately killing them and throwing them to the pigs.
Including those that owns crocodile farms, including those that owns lion farms. This is what they do with our people.
What happened to Matebula? He was thrown in a lion den alive. And we come here. We talk. It's a talk show. We go home. We get salaries for being 410 in parliament and doing absolutely nothing. It's time.
What must be done? Actually, maybe let's go fast forward to be able to paint this picture. Here's a farmer of AfriForum that they are making drugs worth 2 billion. No one is saying anything, even anyone to say, yeah, there's a farm that is owned by AfriForum. No wonder they've got so much money. But the sad part is these drugs that they produce, they know very well that they're going into the townships. So this is their way of destroying this nation.
Precisely. While we are concentrating on drug lords as Nigerians, whites are manufacturing the same drugs to drug us. And it doesn't start now. You know, unfortunately,
I've seen Indian brothers doing the same.
In history, our parents were paid with alcohol. It doesn't start now. It doesn't start now. The only problem is that the ANC and its government allows the return of what we suffered years ago. They're allowing it to come back. It's a very emotional subject for me because I saw my grandfather going through this. I know what it means. The apartheid guys, the people that are in parliament, have simply got their Mercedes-Benz and they forgot. Chris Hani prophesied these criminals exactly.
Do you know, I saw F.W. de Klerk saying, the black elites, if we take care of them, they will get to a space where they understand where we are taking the country and they will just be like us. This is exactly what is happening. The elites have forgotten because they do not go to townships, because now they have allowed this to continue.
The elites are worse. I hear we call them neoliberals. They are not even at that stage. That's an upliftment. That's an upgrading of sorts. These people are just ordinary slaves that substituted white people in parliament. Nothing else. They are co-managing apartheid. It's the same horse with a new jockey. And that horse is a black person.
What must be done?
Two things that worry me when I look at parliament. We've got parties that are called opposition today.
Yes.
Right. One of them being MK, one of them being EFF. And ATM and the like, who chose to become what we call opposition. Now, I listened to Malema when he was attacking the Minister of Sport. They arrived there, they call him Le Bandit. And then the best thing they can do, and Malema must listen to this thing very carefully, because we are irritated with his nonsense. They go there, they raise points of order, frivolous, I must say, frivolous points of orders. They raise that until they are kicked out. When they are kicked out, it seems it's victory. How is it victory when you did not present our mandate there to say, hey, the black people outside say we must come to parliament and present this? And let me tell you, both the EFF and the MK must go to parliament and present an alternative. 2026 is coming and is gonna ask of them, what can you give? You know, there's
this tendency. Yes, I remember the students and those who went up and said, hey, you without metric and all that. You understand? The decorum of parliament, the seriousness of parliament, and the seriousness of people who voted them to go there. They are no longer taking it serious. They think that it's time to go and play with their PhDs, with their master's degrees and everything. They're supposed to be serious about our lives. Now they're making us to be laughing stock. They're also making people who are looking at these learned people to say, we are fun.
We are fun. Yes. We are fun. Because what did they bring? We expect them to go there having content. The moment you raise point of order until the meeting degenerates, it means you did not have content. Now, when you are kicked out, the same people take a decision. And then later on, what do you do when the decision is taken? You were kicked out because of your own point of order.
And you were deliberate when you went to disrupt because you knew the agenda and you did not get there. Instead of them going there and outclass and outplay these politicians.
I'm saying to you, they must go in there. The EFF has got not less than 20 PhDs. They are more educated than the whole of the parliament taken together. Those guys are educated. They must go there and start to say, what is the alternative that we bring to this? If Malema has got no content, he must come and sit where Zuma is sitting. Let's get somebody with content in his space. And the same way I'm saying, you can't have Bob Brian Molefe, you can't have Bo Montana, you quiet in parliament. They are not there for suits. We want to see them sitting and saying, when ESCOM presents, we want Molefe to stand up and say, here is a good work, here is wrong.
I've got an idea.
I've got a better idea.
Yes.
We need to build this country to a level where black people can start to shine. We are not able to shine because Bontlozi Baba Pala.
But
We can't.
But in Dareslepe, we are also in the same country who eats young people. Could an ordinary black South African of 20-year-old is thinking of a party and
Correct.
this thing does not ending, but it is also because those that are old are not influencing those that are young to begin to take their life serious. As a result, the white people who are looking at us says, Kekele, they want to take over this country. How could they do that?
Bota said,
In
we are
1980.
not going to run it.
Yes.
And we are proving when we are opposition and a ruling party, we are proving we can't run it. That's what we are proving. We destroyed SOEs, we destroyed everything, we can't run this country. But we have people with PhDs. Maybe we start to question the PhDs, those leading masters, are they actually meant to change this country, or it's about them gloating?
Are we not maybe are they not overrated? Because we have seen a lot of people who goes study up to master's degree, and maybe we are mixing and saying when you are most learned, it does not necessarily mean that you are smart and intelligent.
Probably that's the case. But Ndate Malungane, take the manifestos of all parties in parliament and put them here. The EFF has got the best manifesto, the best elaborative one. In every sphere of government, they've got an answer. It is these answers that they are not taking to parliament, they are taking points of order.
But in in this country, we've got the best constitution, #1 in the world, so they say.
Yeah.
But this constitution is not protecting us.
No.
This constitution is protecting particular people.
But the constitution is not the best. How can it be the best when it is afraid to mention apartheid? It can't be the best.
Yeah, but I'm saying it was said by those with PhDs. It was said that it was the best.
Yeah, no. When a black person does something that means nothing, white people are quick to say this thing that means nothing. For as long as it protects us, is the best. It is the best for protecting and maintaining the status quo. But to change South Africa, we don't have a constitution. We still have to develop one. We don't have one.
But they have succeeded. Black people are divided, and they've never been divided than before.
But Ndate Malungane, how do you stop the division of black people when a man in opposition of who's in the opposition benches calls another one le banditi? Let me tell you something about leadership. Maybe these boys, they don't understand. Once you debate with a leader and he start to give you information that is common knowledge, it means he's empty. It means it's empty. They need to start to say, we are an alternative government in waiting. Can we and wait? Can we wait while we are doing point of order? We can't wait. We can't wait. With the point of order, they did a marvelous job. They challenged the ANC. The ANC now knows the rules of parliament. But let me tell you what has happened, which is new. Now, the speaker or the chairperson of any committee can kick them out of a meeting. Successfully so. Yeah, there's a president said they were kicked out of a meeting. They went to court. The court said, you didn't behave. You didn't behave. Now they're in every meeting they're gonna be kicked out. They're gonna come and drink with us.
Unless they are serious about South Africa's issues and begin to participate meaningfully, because they've been sent to parliament by the millions of people to get this country right.
And they are capable. You know what frustrates me is that Brian Molefe is capable, Montana is capable, and Lemnitama is capable. Ndlozi, if he's not playing, is capable. Look at what he said to the UCT students. He's damn good. But his goodness is when he shines and people talk to him. I want him to go to parliament and present these things.
That's like a parliamentary territory among in terms of the Freemasons. And what would they do?
But the Freemasons will not be shaken if Bondlozi they go there and play.
Yes,
they will not be shaken. If there's one thing that we need to shake is to kick the dog until the owner comes out.
True.
Yeah, and Bondlozi are not doing that. They're not doing that. They've got 9% of the vote, about 38 members in parliament. All of them are howling, making noise. We want them to sit down, concentrate, give things that parliament has never seen. They've got a good capacity to research.
You remind me of what Floyd once said, speaking about electricity and its generation. And everybody was listening. And
he lectured the president.
Exactly.
We want that from the EFF, unless they say only Floyd had the capacity to do that.
Now let's go back and maybe quickly go to conclude. Abelunga Wasabi, white people do not fear the black person. Steve Biko said, being smart or dumb, you are born in this and you will die in it. The current leadership, 30 years after democracy, they still look at us and see baboons, still look at us and see people that they would kill. The current Minister of Agriculture is John Stesen. Why couldn't he say anything? Because there are a lot of stories that are coming from the farms, not only this one, many of them are coming out. What must be said, what must be done?
The PAC wrote a letter to its own president and say, ensure that this farm that manufactures drugs is expropriated without compensation. And that's where it ended. Even the PAC has died a silent death. We want those to be pushed, and we have the material in parliament to do it. We've got the material in parliament to do it. Unfortunately, I'm not sure whether the EFF with its 9% have now given up hope of leading society. Because being a leader does not necessarily mean you must be in a position. They must come out of that position and lead us, lead the society. Because the ANC, which is a leader of society, has failed. Now, let me give you a scenario. How does Cyril Ramaphosa call Steenhuisen to order when Steenhuisen does not say anything about black people being killed and thrown into a pigsty and white people manufacturing drugs in a farm, when he himself was not interested to expropriate land without compensation? What would he say to Steenhuisen? Because I'm saying, let's set up an example. Let's go to court. Let's win this case of drugs and these people are sentenced. Let's expropriate. Let's take the farm because the Criminal Procedure Act provides for it. Let's take the farm and seize it to the state and forfeit it to the state and say, right, now that it's forfeited to the state, you pack your stuff, you go. And then we say to our people, here it is. We can do that with drug houses. We can do that with cars that transported everything. That can be done. That's why in government there's a forfeiture unit. That's its job. But are we ready? It needs men with balls. Are we ready?
Do we have them?
Oh, yes. Oh, when I said it's a big project, people criticize me. They must tell me it's not a project. With what he's doing now, he's quiet. People are being killed. People are being not even a condolences to those people. You know, the ANC has completely sold out now. They are finished. They can't even say condolences. At least I saw them. They were at court with placards. But when the sun gets hot, they will not return. Those I know them.
Yeah.
So we are where we are. Black person must build his own economy. And he must start. Maybe Malema needs to take a journey. And I'm strongly recommending him, Ndlozi, and the others, they must take a journey. And sit down to Burkina Faso. And sit down with Traore and say, how do you get this stuff right? We are jellish. How do you get it right? He must tell them how it's done. They must come back and implement.
But look, they tried Traore's life and they put in sent soldiers and said, I will protect you. South Africa has protection. It's just that they sold out and they fear to be able to do that. But another question becomes, that is Lab, which would be my last comments until you do that. Another thing also becomes the issue of the citizen, which are not taking the issues of the country serious.
Sure.
Balele.
You know, there's 4% trying to wake up 90%. It's a struggle. And Nalo and I, we chose to be part of the 4%. We are calling on others to increase the 4% at least to 10%. Maybe we can shake 10% and 20%, and then we can, South Africa can start to move. But until the sleeping dogs are raised and they become lions, there's a quote that I like of Miles Monroe. A group of sheep led by a lion will always defeat a group of lions if they are led by a sheep.
True.
So we are led by a sheep, and this sheep must get out and get off so that we get a lion to tell us where to go. Because otherwise, we are going with our necks for slaughter. We are going to be slaughtered.
And it's like being smart or dumb. We are born in this, and we will die in it until and unless Africa wake up and begin to take her things seriously. The future generations will judge us, and they will judge us harshly.
Yeah, they will judge us if they move away from taverns and come and make their issues, raise their issues. There are too much of them in a tavern. I just moved now in Stelfontein, and I saw a tavern packed with polos, and I knew that if the polos are packed there, it's young boys and girls who are drinking themselves to death. They must move out of that. They must shake the liquor out of their head. Because liquor is part of them being killed. They must stand up and they must tell us, where did we go wrong? We know where we went wrong. We sold out. But we must go and collect South Africa.
Can we then bake and prepare during the week that wickedness continues because the spirit is contaminated?
Sure.
And when wrong things begin to happen and people becomes ignorant, at times it's the issues of the spirit, and in that process it is because this dragon is doing as it pleases. People are sacrificed, and the young women are being raped, and now it's time that they fight and go back to the Almighty and claim that, Lord, it is enough, let's change the situation.
Sure, that's part of the solution, but we need to wake up and stand up on our 2 feet. We have been praying for too long. We have been calling God for too long. And God will never move unless an army moves. He will never move unless the army moves.
Until then, let's take it there.
Thank you.